Hey, welcome to Tabletop Skirmish Games. I'm Lee, and in this video I'll show you how I based all of the Stormcast Eternal miniatures from the Dominion box set. With 60 miniatures in the Dominion box set and an extra 10 iron jaws to bulk up the Cruel Boys, there's lots of basing to do, and I've already put a video out for the Cruel Boys showing you how I did the bases for those, and this is going to be really similar, but in this video we're going to focus on the Stormcast Eternals and do all the bases on all the minis that came in that Dominion box set. And the idea with this is to do it quickly, cheap, and in a way that can get your miniatures tabletop ready so you can get them battling in no time. So once all the miniatures were assembled, and it's really easy to put them together, all push fit, so really simple, and they went together really nicely, but some of them have got hardly any base to add materials to, like these two here. So the Lord Imperator and the Knight Arcanum that you can see here, there's just a little bit around the edge, so we don't have to do a lot of work on those. The same goes for Indrasta, the Celestial Spear. We've got that nice piece of terrain built in with the model there, but we have got quite a large section in the front there, so we're going to make sure to cover that up. And then we've got all the other miniatures. We've got the Gryph-hound with loads of room to put something on there. We've got our Annihilators. This is one of our Vindictors here. And here's the Annihilator. So you can see that base is pretty big. And so lots to cover. And we've also got our Praetors as well. So a little bit of work to do. So let's get started. And here's the skulls that I'm going to use. And this is the skull pack from Citadel, and these are really awesome. You get so many skulls in here, and for these guys, for the bases, I'm going to use the orc skulls, but you can see for the human skulls you get two different types. You get some that are damaged, just focus in a bit there, some are damaged and like the jaws hanging off and things like that, and then some of the heads like pristine and in good condition like those ones. But we're going to use super glue, and I've just got cheap super glue for this video, and some Gorilla wood glue. And this Gorilla wood glue you could replace with PVA. I've got some gravel, it's just from the lane down the road, so I just grabbed it for free, washed it off, put it in the oven to sterilize it. And then I've got some coarse flock, which is just like a wooden flock, and then a mid kind of grain flock, and then a fine flock. And so I do a little mixture of those in one jar, and this will act as our kind of rocks on the base. And then I've got some budgie sand from the pet shop. This is really cheap, you can get a big bag of it, and this is perfect. It's super fine. I'll open it up so you can have a look. Really fine sand, and this is going to act as kind of gravel and like mud and earth on the base. So really fine. There's also some other bits mixed in, but that doesn't matter for these. And then I've got some trimmings that I just took from a floor mat that I'm going to use for some hay fields in another game, in the Flames of War game. And so I've just got some trimmings there that are going to be perfect to use as vines. So here I've trimmed off some of the orc skulls from the sprue and just filed down the little marks that are left once they're trimmed off. And you get some different shaped heads, some without jaws, some loose jaws as well. And so now we're going to take that really cheap super glue. Normally I'd use Gorilla super glue, which is more of like a gel and you get more control. But doing so many bases at once, I want something that's quick, easy and cheap as well. And this is going to work perfectly. And then I'm picking out some of these little bits of gravel. Now these are going to act as kind of boulders almost on our base when you scale it down. And so I'll glue those on there. It takes a few seconds to set. It's not as quick as the Gorilla Glue to set, but it works a treat. And then I'm just doing all these at once. So I'm just using one in the video, but I am doing all the bases at the same time for the Stormcast Eternals. And so then just put another bit at the back. So I'm just picking it out little spots where I think the rocks are going to look good compared to the rest of the model. And then I get one of the skulls and I pop that on too, just to let it sit on that glue. And you can add a little bit more glue over the top if you want to. So there we go, that's it, that's the first step complete, nice and easy. And now we're going to move on and take some of that Gorilla wood glue. Again, you can use PVA, but I'm going to use this because it sets a lot faster. I just like working with it. And so I've got some sand and all the different coarse flocking to use and a little toothpick. So the toothpick, I'm just going to take some of that wood glue, pop it on a little plastic lid there, and then just move it around the base, making sure I get that wood glue on nice and thick, and then push it into all the nooks and crannies. And so this works really nicely. If you didn't use this and just used super glue at this stage, when you put the sand on it, it gives you a different texture that I don't really want for this. So this is perfect for the kind of thing we're achieving now. So there we go, that's all completely coated. So I'm going to sprinkle on a little bit of this mixed flocking. So this is the coarse flock, the fine and the mid grain all going on at once. And now this is going to represent stones that almost like the stone you would pick up in your hand and throw. So when we kind of go for the scale, that's what we're looking for. So these are going to be like stones. And then once I've got those on, I'm going to put on all the budgie sand. And normally I'll do this in a tray. So when I was doing it for all the models, I'd have a little tray of it full of sand. And I'd put big handfuls over the top. So you'd cover it almost in 1 or 2 goes. But I just want to show you here all the different materials going on. And so yeah, get a little tray and just go for it with the sand. Big handful, dump it on, super quick. So when you're running through like 70 odd miniatures, it doesn't take long at all to do it like this. So get it all on there. Make sure every little bit of that glue is covered up with the sand, and then once you're happy you can just give it a little flick and just get rid of the excess glue. So just turn it on its side, wipe it off the rim as well. You don't want any stuck to that rim because when it dries it's not good. So wipe it off with your thumb, running it round, and then that's all good to go. And there you go, we can see it up close now. So that's that stage complete. But now we want to add some of those vines, and you could do it at the beginning once that wood glue's gone on, or you can do it now. So I've got a few of these little trims from that bush, put a bit more glue on, and then I'm just going to push these vines in. I don't want them sticking up because I don't want it to be like any kind of like grass or anything. I want it to look like twigs or vines on the floor. So I'm really pushing it down in amongst that sand that we've already put on there. So you can see it's all going to merge in and look a little bit swampy. And there we are. That's all I did for all the models for the Stormcast Eternals. So you can see them all lined up here, and I did them all in one big batch. When we prime this, it's all going to blend in, and those vines and twigs are all going to tie in with the theme that we're going for. And I'm not going to paint these in this video, but I just wanted to show you how to quickly make the bases. But when I do the paint videos for the actual models, you'll see how they're painted. And I'm going for a frozen look, so I'm going to do it all a blue colour, and then I'm also going to put some snow over the top of it. So keep it really simple, because my colour scheme for the Stormcast Eternals is going to be black, so I really want them to stand out on a real pale base. And the idea with them is they hit this swampy terrain, but then when they land, they kind of freeze the ground somehow. I don't know why, but I just think it's going to work nicely. Certainly with the colour scheme of the black, I think that's going to look great. So now once you get to this stage, leave it overnight, and then the next day you can prime it. And I took some just matte super black spray paint from Plastico. And now this is like £5 a tin. Compared to £11 or £12 for the Citadel sprays, it's a lot cheaper. But it does take a little bit longer to dry, and I do prefer to use the Citadel Colour Wraithbone, especially if I'm doing any contrast painting. I'll always use this one. And I may use Chaos Black in future, just to get it to dry a little bit quicker. But here you can see I've got all the miniatures from the Dominion box set, and some Iron Jaws as well, all painted. And I've done all the Cruel Boys with that Wraithbone Citadel colour, and then I've done all the Stormcast with that matte super Plasticoat black. And so there we are, they're all primed now, and you can see I haven't completely covered the base of some of the models because I will be doing that by hand with white paint and then putting some blue washes over the top to really give it that frozen look. And the same here, I'll be dry brushing that stone from the top down, getting lighter as we hit the ground to represent that frozen earth look that we're going to go for. And if you'd like to see how I do that, then look out for the videos coming out over the next week or two where I paint all the miniatures from the Dominion box set. If you're interested in seeing how I did the Cruel Boys, then it was very similar to this, but there is a separate video up on the channel if you'd like to check that out too. And if you're interested in the miniatures, I've done some fighter and focus videos where I look at how we can use the different fighters that came in that Dominion box set, not just for Warhammer Age of Sigmar with the War Scrolls that are included, but also for Warcry. And I've made some Warcry fighter cards for the Cruel Boys that are free to download and use at home for personal use, and I'll put a link in the description for that. And then on the Patreon page, I've also done some cards for all the Stormcast Eternal fighters. And if you're interested in seeing what the Dominion box set looks like, if you haven't got it already, then I've done loads of videos on it, including this unboxing video that you can see here. So the release from Games Workshop for Dominion was so good, you can still even pick this up now, it's still available. And I'll put some links in the description to Wayland Games and Element Games, where you can save up to 20% off of the RRP. So if you're interested in that, check out those links, and for every sale made through a link, I get a small commission too, so you're also helping to support the channel, and I really appreciate that, so thanks so much. I hope this video was helpful and it gave you a good idea how you can quickly, cheaply and easily base a load of miniatures all in one big batch. But I'd love to know what you think, so let me know in the comments below. I love reading all your comments and hearing all your thoughts and feedback. But thanks so much for watching. Please like if you like it, subscribe for more videos like this, and don't forget to hit the notification bell to join me next time on Tabletop Skirmish Games. If you like this kind of content and would like to support the channel, then please check out my Patreon page, and thanks to everyone who's joined so far. It's really awesome. We hang out on Discord, talk about the hobby, share ideas and help each other out, and you'll get some perks there that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I'll put a link in the description, and it'll be great to see you there.